So let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
I've been following you for a while now.
Okay.
What's exactly that? Like, what is it exactly? I love your videos, by the way.
Okay, thank you.
That I love, especially the toy touch is amazing.
Yeah, my business coach told me just to add that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually smart.
Yeah.
It's like how, learning about fat for dummies.
Literally, yeah. That's why I make it. Yeah, make it super easy, like a kid could watch and learn.
So what's exactly your title here?
Well, I'm a health coach, nutrition coach, but I help people change their relationship with food.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So people think I can't eat pizza and lose weight, so they get on these fad diets, and then they gain the weight back. Because why? They restricted themselves. But I'm the guy that come to them like, no, you can have the pizza, you can drink the wine, you could have the beer, and they kind of give me that look of, are you sure? And then 3 months after they're done working with me, I do a follow up a year later. No one ever gained the weight back.
That's a good pitch.
Yeah.
So what's the magic? What's the trick?
If you tell a kid, don't put your hand in the cookie jar, what are they going to do?
Go for the cookie
But
jar.
if I say put your hand in the cookie jar, the dopamine in the brain, because I studied a bit of neuroscience, it's like there's no reward system. So
it's conditioning in its purest form.
exactly. So most people subconsciously, food is a reward system for them. But if I make you eat the pizza every Monday or Tuesday, and then your weight keeps dropping, now the dopamine changes. Now you're realizing, so pizza doesn't make me gain weight, and I'm still losing weight. And 100% of the time, if I ask my client, do you want pizza, cookies? It's like, sure, not really. Now it's working. Versus they're on a diet, eat a cookie, they feel bad, and then they give up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So all this is based, I'm guessing, on calorie count?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. Macros. I'd say macros is more accurate.
Okay,
Yeah.
macros.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But so let's start from the beginning. Losing weight does not make it healthy though.
Depends on the person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you base it on exactly here?
Everybody's goal is different.
Okay.
I'll get a person who wants to just lose an extra 10 pounds.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just like that little belly fat.
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
So I get those. I just want to lose the little fupa, as they call it. It's like, okay, I'll help you do that. And then first thing is I want to see where they are psychologically. It's not even about the weight loss. It's why do you want to lose it? Are you motivated? Okay. Because if someone sends me a DM today, I want to lose weight. It's like, okay, great. But if they're not motivated, I know they'll give up in about 2 weeks. So the first thing I look for is how motivated are you? And what's your relationship like with food?
Okay.
Yeah. Then I hear I've done keto, I've done fasting, I've done all this stuff. And then I flip it. I make them do the things that they thought were bad to lose weight. And then they lose weight and then they keep it off for good. I've done a 3-year follow-up of a girl of 54 pounds who could never lose weight. She hasn't gained a pound back in a year.
How long have you been doing this?
Nutrition, I'll say health and wellness, 10 years. Nutrition, like focused on nutrition, 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah, like really
So
focused on it.
what's the biggest misconceptions?
People label food as good or bad. So McDonald's is bad, but I can prove to someone like there's enough case studies of people who've eaten. No, I don't promote McDonald's.
Okay.
I don't promote it, but I posted on my Instagram like a year ago of a man that was documented on TV in the US. He lost 64 pounds eating McDonald's every day, just respecting his calorie deficit, and his bad cholesterol dropped.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily make him healthy, does it?
Oh, no, it makes him healthy. They did blood work follow-ups. He's healthy. Now, obviously, he's not still eating McDonald's, but he did that as a challenge to himself. Like, could I eat McDonald's and lose weight? There's a guy who did Subway. Some other guy did pizza.
No, those I've seen. Like,
Yeah.
there's plenty of those.
Yeah.
Super Size Me, I think, was the guy that was on McDonald's for a while. That's a
Maybe.
documentary a couple of years
Yeah.
back. But because there's a nuance, and from what I understood, that there's some people that are big, skinny, or whatever,
Yeah.
but yet are very healthy,
Yeah, true.
right?
Yeah.
And vice versa, because healthy is not necessarily a visual thing,
100%.
right? It's something interiorly.
Exactly.
So it goes up to your cholesterol levels. There's no deficits in iron, magnesium, whatever it is.
100%. Yeah.
The B12s, etc.
Yeah.
So because I'm trying to see how McDonald's could be a balanced diet in that sense, because I don't think their fish fillet is real fish.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So the omegas, where you get the omegas in McDonald's, omega 3s.
In that, because with that guy, I did follow up with his story, right? So I didn't dig too deep. My whole focus was how did he do it? That's the first thing.
Yeah.
And then I just followed up and his cholesterol. He showed his blood work.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah.
came back impeccable. So that's when my journey
Was
is
he young, old?
old. It's 50s.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
he lost 64 pounds, and he had the pictures before and after.
Yeah, that I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Like you
So-
can lose weight eating McDonald's if you train 3 days. Like
Yeah.
if you're burning 2,000 calories and you're eating 1,200,
Exactly.
by definition, you're going to be losing weight.
Exactly.
Doesn't
So-
make you healthy though.
doesn't make you healthy. But that's what messes with my head because I was like, that's not possible. So I have a coach who's been doing nutrition for 30 years. I asked him, I was like, how is that possible? Like it blows my mind. You know, so he broke it down for me. It's primarily this guy just respected his calorie deficit and everything aligned, which to this day, even I'm surprised when I see that.
But with no deficiencies in his blood work.
That was the craziest part. There's maybe a few deficiencies, but no red flags.
Wow.
None, like zero. And my coach, his name is Lane Norton. Check him up on Instagram. He looked at the guy's blood work, like actually asked for it. There was nothing, like no red flags.
Because there's a lot of studies right now coming out for veganism and stuff like that,
Yeah.
where there's actually certain, not red flags, but flags. Well, let's
Yeah.
just say we won't give it in color right
Yeah.
now, especially B12, for example.
Yeah.
Because they don't eat fish,
Of course,
and
yeah.
stuff like that.
100%.
So, and then there's the raw vegans, regular vegans,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's certain micros that they do not have
Yeah.
or did not find that they could find in meat proteins and stuff like that, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm telling myself they're like technically the healthiest, yet
Yeah.
they still found it. So I'm trying to see how McDonald's, there's not even fruits there. Are there?
Nah, there's none.
I think they have the apple packs. I
Maybe,
think,
yeah,
as far as, but that's why I'm like, how do they go with the good sugars? Because there's no.
Yeah. That case blew my mind. And because I also had another client who lost croissants and she had PCOS, and women with PCOS struggle with weight loss. And she could never get rid of this breakfast croissant. I tried everything. I was like, her name is Bav. I posted on my Instagram. I was like, you know what, Bav, I give up. This was like when I was really getting into nutrition. I'm like, we're going to put your croissant. It's, I think, 300 calories, but you have to respect your deficit.
Yeah.
She goes, deal. I'm like, oh, I didn't think it would work. I'll be honest with you. And next thing I know, for the first 2 months, she couldn't lose weight. We tried everything. She adds the croissant and she lost 54 pounds in 6-7 months.
Is there a healthy amount of time to lose weight?
I think everybody's different. I just think if you lose, average is 2 pounds a week. That's the most I
Okay,
could say
that's
to
it.
lose.
Yeah.
So if you lose 8 pounds in a month, I say that's fairly healthy. If you're super obese, you could lose more.
So I have about, in my case, around 15 pounds to lose.
15, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're very targeted pounds.
Okay.
That's another thing. And I was watching actually a documentary not a long time ago where there's two schools of thoughts when it comes to these things.
Okay.
That some say you cannot target fat
Okay.
and others say you can.
Okay.
Which one are you in?
I think it's impossible to target fat because you have fat cells and your fat cells just shrink. So when you gain weight, your fat cells get bigger. So you're born with fat cells. Some people are naturally skinny. Some people, depending what your mom ate when she was pregnant, you could be predisposed to gaining weight much faster.
Yeah, but I'm talking more, let's just say some people, like you said, the belly.
The belly, yeah.
Like, is it possible to lose weight specifically
there?
there? Yeah.
With nutrition, impossible, but there's this like laser treatments they use that I've heard of. I just don't know how legit they are.
The one that stimulates the cells
Yeah,
for
exactly.
it to target, because that's the biggest issue was once your body goes into burning mode,
Yeah.
you don't know from which stockage they're going to go and pick up.
Yeah, exactly. That's why usually it's like body. It could be a little bit on the face, a little
Exactly.
bit here. It's everywhere. Yeah, exactly. But
And-
specifically here, impossible.
Interesting.
But you know what? 2024, I wouldn't be surprised if a new study came out or some new thing
Yeah.
came out. I wouldn't be surprised.
But there's studies coming out. Like, how do you actually navigate through all the studies? Because there's so many studies.
Good one. You've heard of PubMed?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do all my research on PubMed, and I have like 2 people I go to who've been studying this for like 50 years.
Okay.
And they'll always post articles. They'll give their review because everybody's an expert now.
That is true.
Yeah. In 2024, someone, Dr. Joe Dispenza? Never heard of him?
I'm not too sure about
Okay.
that one.
He's a guy, I read his books a lot about mindset. And he said, in an age of technology, there's so much information. What's the truth? So that's the part I realized, like, what is the truth? Because the truth could be changed. So I've realized that the truth is different for everybody. Some people are hardcore vegans and you can't tell them otherwise. Some are hardcore organic people. Some are hardcore carnivore. It's so hard to pick which one's which. I just find the truth is what's right for you. That's what I've realized over time.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, the truth is flexible diet is the best diet to do because I don't believe you should restrict yourself from any foods you love.
So can you elaborate what is a flexible diet?
So flexible diet is eating whatever you want. So
Okay.
if you love carbs, eat carbs. If you love high protein, go high protein. If you know what I mean. So I don't restrict myself. I'll eat whatever I want, and I could either burn fat or build muscle. But some people are very rigid. Like, I'm doing keto, so I'm not gonna eat any carbs for the next 6 months.
Okay, but let me wrap my hand, because you see me, for example, I've always struggled with my weight, but not in a drastic way.
Yeah.
It's always about 10 pounds up or down.
Okay.
Right. And sometimes I'll eat super healthy, yet
Okay.
I'll gain weight,
Okay.
even though I'm very active.
Okay.
I'm guessing you're super active.
Work out 4 or 5 times a week. Yeah.
Do you do any sports?
Not really. Just cardio at the gym, workout. Now I'm doing group classes, F45, but that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how do you calculate your calories exactly here?
This is an app I use. It's called a Carbon app. Yeah, that's the app I use.
So you put everything you eat in it and it calculates for you.
Well, it tells you what your deficit is. So, for example, you'd get it there. Okay, my age is this. My level of activity is this. It tells you, all right. So, based off how much you weigh, your level of activity, this is the amount of calories you need to eat per day to burn fat. So, carbs, protein, fat. It gives you everything.
And then you do all the math.
Yeah, and then the math is pretty easy. So you get a food, let's say, I don't know, a fruit, just log it in. Okay, 1 apple. So 1 apple is 200 calories. Now you know if your deficit is 2,000, you have 1,800 calories left to go for the day.
So you just go through the app and you put pretty much everything you take in.
Pretty much, exactly. And it more helps you just understand as well.
Yeah. It gives
it's
you
like-
a visual. It gives you a number.
Exactly.
Because I guess it helps with the motivation too. Keep in mind.
True, exactly. Because I weigh myself every day. I tell my clients, every day weigh yourself, every single morning.
Really?
Every morning jump on the scale, yeah.
I can't.
It goes against the norm, but
No, me, it pisses me off. Like
learned-
sometimes I've been so, like I haven't eaten in like 15 hours.
Yeah.
Just finished the basketball game and I go on it and I gained 3 pounds.
yeah, every day. And I learned that the hard way too. I go to coach and he's like, every morning jump on the scale. I'm like, scale, why? He's like, we get the average for the week. Every morning, empty stomach, you go on the scale. If you're in a deficit the day before, your weight's going to drop. Let's say you're 200.9, it's going to go 200.6, 0.4, and so on. So I did it for 6 months with a coach. And to my amazement, every morning I woke up, I would have a few spikes up, but my weight kept dropping consistently.
Okay. So it's funny because I had Joe. Actually, you commented on one of the videos that I posted of
Okay. Yeah.
Joe. He's a physical trainer and everything. And I didn't remind me if you do remember. What was the video about?
Something about eating healthy.
Yeah. That's what the most of the pod
Yeah,
was.
but I forget the context. It's been a while now.
Yeah, because he has a very specific diet, let's just say.
Okay.
And he even says it on the pod, because keep in mind, to give him justice, those clips is a minute of an hour and a half podcast, right? But he was a firm believer of eating from the ground, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah.
That's-
whole food. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's a seasonal eater too.
Okay. Oh, I've heard of those. Yeah.
Yeah. So he tries to follow, he's African, right?
Yeah.
So culturally speaking, even us, we have tendency of eating per season. Even our meals, the way they're cooked, heavier in the winter, lighter in the summer, more soups, hot food in the winter,
Yeah.
colder salads and stuff during the summer.
Yeah.
But that's because you come from a very warm climate.
True.
Now, it doesn't necessarily translate to Canada, sadly,
Yeah. Exactly.
but we do our best. So I have to ask you again, because I like to ask this question. What are your thoughts on supplements?
I personally don't recommend them
Okay.
unless you're deficient in something.
Okay.
So try get all your nutrients from food first. And then if you're struggling, let's say with B12, then get a B12 supplement. If you're struggling with protein, get a protein shake.
So multivitamins, magnesium.
Like those you could take. I'm okay with those. But like, for example, when I started to track my food intake, I would actually check how much magnesium am I consuming. And I realized I was deficient. So I bought a magnesium supplement. It's because I could get my magnesium from food, but I'd have to eat more food.
Yeah.
So I was like, what if I just get a supplement? So that's when I got a supplement.
And how about protein shakes?
I take one, just one a day is fine.
Yeah.
Just to make sure I'm getting enough protein for the day.
Yeah, that's for the muscle recovery and everything
Exactly,
like that. And it does help, from what I understand, for the calorie deficit. Because
100%. Because if you're hungry, trust me, you want to have a protein shake.
how often do you eat in a day?
I don't really have a schedule. I wake up in the morning, I'll eat breakfast.
Okay.
I'll have a snack after gym. I'll eat lunch. I'll eat a snack midday, and before bed, I'll eat.
Before bed?
Like an hour before bed, yeah. I'll eat.
Really?
Yeah, most of the time, yeah.
I just saw actually a study that said it didn't recommend that, but okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend like right before bed, but I would say an hour before, 2 hours before, I'll eat something.
Do you believe in do you fasting and stuff like that?
I've tried it before, but when I read the literature, it's not magic. Like there's nothing. I used to do it because I thought, oh, if I fast, this will happen to me, and then I realized like there's no magic with this.
What you do, like the 16/8?
Yeah, I did like I would stop eating from I think it was like 16:8 I did,
Yeah, that's it, the
And-
regular one.
Yeah, those no magic with it for me. And even when literature I read, I've seen people do fasting. I'm like, it's a personal choice. If people want to do it, I'll never shame them for doing it, but it's not magic.
So what is magic?
People think if I do intermittent fasting, I'll lose weight because they've
But I
been-
don't think it's for losing weight. It's actually to balance your energy primarily.
True.
And then as long as you're in a calorie deficit, you're by consequence, you'll be losing weight.
exactly 100%.
Yeah. So it's a 2-for-1 actually. Because
Yeah.
the study I actually read, it was 2 or 3 days ago actually. I'll send it to you. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Where he was talking about the body once you're in when you're in like sleeping mode,
Mm-hmm.
what it happens is everything slows down,
True.
right? And then any energy you get, it gets directly from fat.
100%. Yeah.
And if you keep your fasting
Yeah.
in the morning, they mostly suggest that you continue because you already have 8 hours. Let's just say the average 7 to 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
So you already have 8 hours of fasting in you.
Yeah.
And this is a calorie fasting. It's
Yeah.
not fasting. They're like the longer you go, the more your body's gonna go into this mode where it goes and gets fat for your energy.
Yeah.
What in consequence to that, it helps you focus.
Okay.
So your energy levels will be very, very steady.
Yeah.
And then what they suggest is if ever you decide to break your fast, to go very light.
Okay.
At the beginning, you don't want to shock your body.
Yeah.
You don't want to go straight off with like a steak.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's going to make you very tired because your insulin levels are going to just peak drastically.
Yeah.
So they're like, there's a method to the madness in a sense,
Yeah.
where when you break your fast, maybe a salad or a fruit or stuff like that. And even there's another study that was saying that you should only take your fruits in the morning. Go figure that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you should never mix. There's not a lot of research that confirms that, but they're trying to see the correlation that you should not mix fruits and veggies together
Okay.
because the again I'm sounding smart, but I have no idea what I'm talking about. When you decompose that vegetable inside your intestine,
Yeah.
one is a slow burn, the other one is a quick
Yeah.
digestion. And because of that, sometimes the body doesn't know which one to react to, even though it's a smart body. But if you have any health problems, that's where you get the bloating from.
Yeah.
And because your digestive system is pretty much your second brain, it
Yeah.
seems.
100%. Yeah.
And if you have a healthy gut, you'll have a healthy lifestyle, regardless of what you eat, as long as it's able to decompose it, digest it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You should be fine in general. And as you grow older, because of all the bad habits,
Yeah.
your gut starts
Acting up. You're changing.
exactly.
Yeah.
I have bloating problems constantly.
Okay.
Even though I eat very light most of the times,
Yeah.
the only time I have no bloating is when I'm fasting.
Okay. Yeah.
Like literally, when I'm fasting, when I wake up in the morning, I'm okay. The minute I start eating, depends. There's probably intolerance in there
True.
and stuff like that. So it's really hard today to
Yeah.
navigate through all.
There's a lot of stuff out there.
And there's a lot of information and a lot of contradictory information.
A lot of it. Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, there's so many schools of thoughts.
Yeah.
They could all be right, yet they can all be somewhat wrong, I guess.
True. Exactly.
But how do you determine or how do you decide? Let's just say you have a client, right? Because I'm guessing some clients, certain methods work better for them and others less.
Yeah.
They react better or react less.
100%.
How do you determine that though?
Well, it depends where their belief is. So if a client says, I want to do intermittent fasting, I ask them why you want to do it. And they'll give me, I heard this, I heard that. And there's two ways. Some people are emotional, some are logical.
Okay.
So if I'm talking to this person, they've made up their mind that they've seen intermittent fasting as the way to go, I'll tell them to do it. It's fine. But we'll try to find a way for them to do it that's easy to do, right? But I always let them know, like, let me know how you feel in a few days of doing intermittent fasting. If you feel great, your energy levels are good, and you have adherence, keep doing it. But if after a few days you hate it, then stop, right? Because it also comes down to the person. If they're not enjoying it after a week.
But it takes 21 days in average to create a habit. Isn't that unfair after 3 days?
It depends though, because most people, what happens is motivation's here. When the motivation drops and now they're hungry, something happens in their personal life, they overeat and then
Yeah,
they don't
emotional
feel good.
eaters.
Yeah. So it's all about, let's find what's sustainable for you, right? So I always tell people, if you don't do fasting, I have nothing against it. But can you stick through the fast? Because you're going to go through hunger phases. You're going to go through this. I've had maybe 1 out of 300 people I've coached who actually stuck to it. But after 2-3 weeks, she's like, I'm not enjoying fasting. I want to go back to the regular way I was eating before. So that's fine. We did it that way. And she realized fasting was not for her. I did fasting. It wasn't for me.
I've been doing it regularly,
Yeah.
on and off. The off is about a week.
Okay.
It's mostly on it. It's been almost 2 years now.
Okay.
But I do bigger,
Okay.
smaller windows. I do 19.5.
95. Okay.
So usually I cut it, I stop around 4 o'clock
Okay.
in the afternoon, and I close the window around 8, 9
Okay.
to the top.
Yeah.
Overall, in general, I have no problem whatsoever, especially if I have a busy day.
Yeah.
It goes like this.
Okay. For sure. Yeah.
Saturdays and Sundays, usually my relaxed days, that's where I have the biggest difficulty because I'm just there.
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
doing much. Now,
Yeah.
during the summer, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
After that, I play soccer on Wednesdays and basketball on Sundays.
Okay.
Now, the issue there is once I come back from sports,
Yeah.
I'm starving.
Of course.
So usually I'll just take a soup just to minimize, let's just say. But even that, what happens is usually the next morning when I wake up,
Yeah.
I'm starving.
Of course. 100%.
And sometimes if I don't eat, my stomach starts to hurt.
For sure. Yeah.
So I'm trying to find a balance. Like I don't need to do the 7 days anyway. I can
Yeah.
do still 6 days and I'm okay. But I'm trying to find a way to keep it because the fasting, what I love about it, first, it makes it very easy for me
For sure.
because I don't need to, think about snacks and everything.
For sure.
So I know I'm not eating before I get home.
Yeah.
Second of all, I wake up with a herb water. It's not tea.
Yeah.
And then I take a coffee,
Okay.
and that pretty much the rest of the day I'm with water.
Yeah.
So the hydration is good.
Okay.
After that, breaking the fast is not bad. But what I like about it is my energy levels
Okay.
are very consistent.
Okay. That's good. Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. Because
sure.
what happens is the minute I eat, I start
drop.
getting tired a bit.
Yeah. Of course.
That's when I hit my second coffee usually. And then if I'm busy, I'll just go over it or go
Yeah.
over the hump. But if I have a relaxed day, holy snap.
It's different. Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, let me just snack here and there. And I don't do calorie counts,
Okay. Okay.
honestly.
Yeah.
But I don't eat that much neither.
Okay.
I just maintain a certain.
Yeah. So you might be eating enough calories not to lose weight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah. so
I'm
you-
really on that.
Yeah. And you also might have what they call metabolic adaptation. So, for example, one of my clients had that same problem, and I was like, "Let's just track your food for like a few days." His deficit was 2,000 calories. When we tracked his calories, he was only eating 1,000 calories.
And he wasn't losing weight.
Couldn't lose weight. But that's before he worked with me. I was like, okay, so you have what they call metabolic adaptation. That's where your body just slows down how fast it can metabolize food. So we realized, okay, eating 1,000 calories, you're 220 pounds. You're not gonna lose weight that way. So we might have to. And he was working out, doing everything right.
So, okay, now you got my intention. Okay, so what's the solution to this?
So what we did was once he tracked, he realized that he's only eating 1,000 calories. He's 220 pounds. He was eating 100 grams of protein. I'm like, that's nothing. Carbs, maybe 140 grams of carbs. I'm like, that's nothing. Fat, I think 30 grams of fat. So what I told him was we have to do what they call reverse diet.
Okay.
So reverse diet is almost like training your body to, you diet down, you could diet up. So we reversed the diet. So what we did was we started to train his body to eat more food. So I was like, okay, tomorrow I want you to eat 1,300 calories. Let me know how you feel. And for sure, guess what he says to me? Oh, that's a lot of food, man. I don't know if I can keep up. I said, just do it for 2-3 days. Within about 3 days, he started to get hungry. He went to 1,006,
Okay.
1,007. And then next thing we noticed, his weight started dropping very fast. Like when I say
Wait.
fast.
So he was eating more calories
Yeah.
and he was losing weight.
Yeah, because it's like calories is fuel, right? So his
Yeah.
body needs more calories to burn fat. But if he's not eating enough, your body's actually going to start using your muscle to start to use that it's going to eat up your muscle, convert that into fat, use that as energy. But
Okay.
we flipped it and said, no, eat more food to burn fat. He got to 2,000, he lost 20 pounds in 2.5 months
By eating more.
by eating more, yeah. And now he eats 2,000, sometimes 2,500 calories, and he's maintaining that. He's happier now, actually, because he's eating way more food.
And if he wants to, but okay, so it just made his body activate.
Yeah, pretty much. It's almost like a metabolism reboot. So we gave him.
And then after that, if he starts lowering down his calories, is he going to start losing weight more?
It depends how active he is.
Okay.
So it's all about, because your body is very smart. It knows. So if you're doing a diet and you get to low calories, it could stop losing weight. It goes, no, I'm not dropping any more weight. So I get people, for example, I've had clients.
So where does it get the energy from?
From the calories. So calories equals energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're not eating enough and you're training hard, your body's like, well, I've already used the reserve I need there from your 1,000. I need more to burn more fat. So your body's smart. It goes, I'm just going to keep everything as fat. We're not going to lose any more weight.
Wow, that's actually makes so much sense.
Yeah.
That's
So-
probably my problem.
Yes. So if you get Carbon app, it's
Yeah.
I think $10 for the month. Just track everything you're eating. Whatever you eat, even a fruit, just put it in fruit just for one day. You might realize, because the app will tell you how many calories you need. So let's say it says 2,000, right? And for one day you track and you realize, I'm only eating 900 calories. Great. Even the app actually coaches you, and you can actually DM the coaches that will respond to you on the app. It's going to tell you, well, you might have to do a reverse diet. And the app will guide you into doing a successful reverse diet where you're burning fat and at the same time gaining muscle.
Wow.
Yeah. And it guides you. Every morning you wake up, just log in your weight on the app. Every week the app will ask you, how good were you at following your program? 100%. If you were good, great. It's going to automatically update how many calories you need. Automatically does it for you. If you're stuck, you can DM the coaches. Within about 24, 48 hours, they're going to respond to you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Viva technology.
Yeah, I've used that app for for the last year and a half. Well, now I know how to do it with other apps, but
Yeah.
that's what I use. I still use that app to this day.
That's that's the first time I hear that, but it makes so much sense, I guess.
Exactly.
That's probably when people do the same thing for so long, your body just stagnates.
Yeah, it gets bored, right? I've coached people. I coached a girl who's 300 pounds, was eating 500 calories. She's like, I don't get it. I'm eating healthy. I'm not losing weight. I'm like, you're not eating enough food. And the thought of eating more food scared her. But the moment
Yeah,
she
the
got to a
logic.
certain amount of calories, her weight started to drop. Now, guess what she does? She's the girl at the party eating more food because she knows I need to eat more food to burn fat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That completely shifts my perspective on things. That's actually very interesting. Okay, cool, fair enough. But so when people come and approach you, right? So they come for health reasons, visual reasons, that summer body
Yeah,
vision,
of course. Yeah.
the whole shebang, right? So you take them for what? 6 months, 3 months, a year?
It starts with 3 months, but usually they stay with me for a year. Because I tell the person, everybody I work with, I say 3 months, it's like learning how to crawl. It's not enough for you to understand how this works. Average is about a year I keep them with.
And you follow them to the gym, you follow...
Oh no, everything is online. I've never met I've never met 100% of my clients.
Really?
And some are in Montreal, I've never met them before. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
One lives, I think, 5 blocks from me. Never met her before. I've been coaching her for a year.
So they just have access to you.
Yeah, there's an app I have. They talk to me through the app. Every week we get on Zoom. I break it down. Okay, how's your week been? What have you done? And I can see what they're eating. And 2 things happen. Either they're consistent or they're struggling. But I've noticed it's not necessarily the diet they come to me for. It's
The mental.
100%. Everybody I coach is more mental. It's not even...
So it's for the motivation.
Yeah, honestly, if someone wants a diet, they can go on ChatGPT right now and get a diet. My business coach told me, he's like, man, they're not coming to you for a diet and a workout program. They're actually coming more for the mindset.
So how do you motivate or fix the mindset?
It's just knowing how to talk with them. Everybody has different ways to motivate them. Some I have to actually curse because I realized that's how they respond.
Tough love.
Yeah, some need that. One girl, I was too nice to her. She dropped me as a coach. I was like, I didn't get it because I'm accustomed to being nice to, I work with mostly women. And then one day, I'll never forget this. I was coaching this girl from Detroit. Her name is Ashley. I should coach her today. And can we curse? No curse.
For sure you
okay,
can
okay.
curse.
So I'm on
Saint and sinners, what do you expect?
So I'm on the phone with her and I was like, Ashley, just shut the fuck up and go to the gym and stop complaining. And she goes, yes, coach. And I was like, are you going to go now and send me a picture? Yeah. And I raised my voice. For 2 weeks, I'd never seen her that consistent. I was like, okay, let me try my other clients. So I started giving them real tough love. And I noticed that sometimes people need that tough love.
yeah, that, you know.
But I didn't know that, right? I thought, sometimes working with women, they're more, not even the softest girl I've worked with, she needs that tough love. And it always works. So there's that kind of motivation. But then sometimes it's very mental, they're dealing with stuff. Like I have one girl, she was on antidepressants, she was sad, suicidal, just like me back in the day. And even her, I had to learn how to navigate her language, how she works. And now she goes to gym 4 times a week.
Wow. Because now it's been determined too, and now this was actually brought to my attention by my daughter, that those who spend a lot of time into the gym is considered as a mental illness.
I read that, yeah.
That was fascinating to me, but it makes sense too.
Yeah.
Because it's in extremes,
True.
right?
Yeah.
Because I have a good friend of mine, and he's actually one of the co-hosts on the pod. He's at the gym, if not 7 days, 6 days,
Wow, okay, one of
twice,
those. Yeah.
sometimes.
Wow. Okay.
And he has nothing to do. It's not for a competition or anything
yeah.
like that. He just likes to train.
Yeah.
It's his way of,
It's his meditation.
exactly.
Yeah.
But from what I understood, too much gym could become a mental illness.
I've heard that before. Too much of anything, I think, is bad. I think
Fair.
you need balance. That's just my personal opinion.
So how do you balance? So what would be the right
Balance.
for a regular person?
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, I'm not talking about somebody that's a super athlete or
Yeah.
competition. Everybody that has a regular job, because the thing is, it's always about the schedules, right?
Yeah.
You recommend the morning or the evening training?
Whatever time is good for the person. I go in the morning just because I just don't like training after 12 p.m. Like you can't convince me to go in the gym. I'm a morning person.
Yeah, I'm definitely a morning.
Yeah, some people love evening and it's fine.
I have to go now because I train with my son, but I
Okay.
hate it. When
Yeah.
there's a lot of people, just
Yeah, same. I just don't want to be there. Yeah,
I just leave.
same.
Like I kid you, I hate waiting for a machine.
Yeah, same. That's why I go in the morning.
Yeah,
There's nobody. I go like 8, 9 after that crowd is done and there's never anybody in the gym.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
quiet. And you train with music.
Yeah, all the time.
What's on your playlist?
Right now, or Kendrick Lamar and Drake, The Beef. I'm playing that on repeat. It depends. Sometimes it'll be a podcast. Sometimes I do a lot of podcasts when I'm training, but usually it's anything hip hop. That's what I'm
I
listening
have to ask you now. Who do you think is winning the beef?
Right now, Kendrick.
You heard the last one of Drake?
Drake's. I heard it, but I personally wanted Drake to win. I'm more of a Drake fan
Oh, really?
personally, but when I say to analyze things, I'm like, yeah, I think Kendrick got this one. As much as I want Drake to win, I'm like, it's not looking good for Drake.
I just find that this isn't good for hip hop. A lot of, again, it's not a popular opinion.
Yeah, true.
I'm not gonna stay too much into the subject, but I feel they went too far.
More's coming from what I've heard.
Yeah, that's what they keep on saying. And again, I just find that the kids, the mothers, the fathers,
Yeah, exactly. So it's like,
everybody's a rapist now. Everybody's a wife beater. I'm like, holy shit.
yeah,
And
exactly.
the sad part about it is that these people have kids, and now you're
The
going
kids
to
will get older
school.
one day.
That's it, and they're hearing this shit all day.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think it's a responsible.
Me too. Those two together could probably make the best music if they actually got in the studio together.
Add J Cole to that.
At J. Cole, like
J Cole's looking like a genius right now.
he knew it. He's like, you know what? I'm out. I don't want to be part of this.
I feel like he knew that they were going to go that low.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't want to be about that life.
smart move. I applaud him. It's a smart
Yeah, I'm a big J Cole fan.
move. Okay. Yeah.
I was disappointed, but now looking at what pretty much transpired from everything,
Yeah.
I'm like, he did
Smart move.
like he has a daughter and everything. I'm like, yo,
100%. Yeah.
he has his hand, like they can call him, scared and everything. I'll take that any day.
Yeah. But his
over.
kids, yeah, they'll suffer in the future. Drake's son will probably hear that stuff. Like, did you do that? I
But
don't
he's probably hearing it at school,
probably yeah.
right? Because the world is on pause and waiting every day for a new diss track
Yeah,
type
and
of
that's
thing.
your father. He's number one figure in the world. So
Exactly. And Kendrick with his wife and the whole allegations.
yeah,
But anyway, so you're a hip hop head.
hip hop. Yeah, most hip hop, Afro beats as well, but mostly hip hop. I'll say.
Yeah, it's important. So, like music, I feel is pretty much my motivation to sports
Yeah, 100%.
and the gym.
Yeah, 100%.
It's important. I can't play slow music at the gym.
I can't.
Just taking it too easy and everything. So I'm trying to figure out, like, from somebody that works from, let's just say 9 to 5.
Yeah.
How do they put? So what would be the ideal amount of time going to the gym? You said 4 times,
4 or 5 max.
5 times a week.
If you're able to, I say 4 to all my clients. If you have a 5th window, then take it. Then it's perfect. You're gonna get results a little bit faster, is what I tell them. But
And you're a believer of cardio?
yeah, I think cardio is good for the heart. Cardiovascular is good for the heart. But if you're doing it for weight loss and you're not in a caloric deficit, it's a waste of time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of studies lately coming out that
Yeah, exactly.
the myth that even if you run for hours,
Nothing will happen. Yeah.
it's not much. You don't burn enough calories in that sense, and your body actually gets used to it.
Yeah, exactly. So I always tell people like do cardio for cardiovascular, but if you're in a deficit, then cardio is great for weight loss.
Huh. So what's the biggest misconceptions right now and people's thoughts and ideas or trending right now? Because all these TikTok trends and
People want fast results, number one. And I've noticed that if I work with someone, I have to give them a big victory in the first week for them to be motivated.
really,
I have to. I've seen it happen 100 times. I've done enough studies where when people start a program, if they don't get a big win in the first 7 days or first 5 days, their motivation drops significantly.
so motivation is pretty much the biggest
Yeah,
fuel into any journey.
100%. Yeah. Like Tony Robbins said, progress equals motivation.
That is true.
Yeah. No
That is
progress, no
definitely-
motivation.
You always wanted to do this?
Yeah, always. Like I've always been an athlete since I grew
What kind
up.
of sports did you do?
I played soccer, almost went pro playing soccer.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 35 right now.
Oh, you're not my generation at all.
Yeah, I almost went pro, like this close. My mom didn't believe in me, so I'm from Zambia. So
Oh,
yeah, so she's that generation of go to school, good job. I was like, Mom, I'm telling you, I'm good.
where did you play?
I used to play for my high school, and then I played for like a local club.
Are you born here?
No, I was born in Zambia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I moved here, Canada, 2008.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Montreal, like 5 years ago. I was in Ottawa before.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Okay. That explains a lot.
yeah, exactly.
How do you like Montreal?
Compared to Ottawa?
Well, yeah, that's
Ottawa, you're a great place, but Montreal beats you.
No, clearly.
Yeah,
There's
100%.
a lot more culture, a lot more things. I love Ottawa. I have one of my good friends that lives there. So, okay, so you did soccer and what else?
Basketball.
Basketball too.
Yeah, basketball. We won nationals in my country.
Really?
Yeah, exactly. So I've always been an athlete. I would say for my age class, I was the fastest runner, if not the second fastest.
You look like fast.
Yeah, I was a fast runner.
You have one of those bodies and faces that
I
somebody
could
that
run.
runs.
Yeah, I could do track. I was always top 3, always, no matter what. Just swimming. I hated swimming.
I was gonna say something racist again, but,
But I know I can swim. I just don't. I didn't enjoy swimming.
okay.
Yeah,
That's a full body workout right there.
yeah, I hated it with a passion.
Really?
Yeah, me and my friends, every time we had swim class, we would always we would intentionally get in trouble so it could be punished not to swim. To us, swimming was punishment, which I look back, I'm like, why didn't we swim? It was so hot back in Zambia.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was like 40 degrees every time.
And it's a very refreshing sport.
Yeah, so now I look back, I'm like, that was so stupid. We could have swam.
You still do sports now? Like,
Yeah, I play soccer here and there. I play basketball sometimes, yeah.
okay, so you're very active.
Gym primarily. Like I play soccer now, but there's a league I used to play for. It's done. So now I'm like looking for something else in the summertime. Maybe I'll find something.
Oh, I'll hook you up.
Okay, yeah, for
There's
sure.
plenty. I still play soccer regularly
Okay.
and basketball too. But basketball, it's more this little tiny league.
Okay.
That's the only thing that keeps me sane, to
Okay.
be honest.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
was lucky enough. Any major injuries?
Nothing. Just like my knees will inflame sometimes,
Yeah,
but
that's
nothing crazy.
that's normal. No ACL. or-
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so fair enough. So again, wow. So that's fascinating. But how did you get to this exactly? So you're an athlete. Instead of becoming a sports trainer, you went into food. Was there
Yeah.
something that came about? Usually, and I don't mean this in any fat phobic or anything like
Yeah.
that, because now everybody's very sensitive.
Yeah.
Usually it's like somebody that was struggling with weight
Yeah.
and then they did the work. How did you get into that?
Well, I was a personal trainer. Well, still a personal trainer. I don't do one-on-ones anymore. But I used to be super skinny growing up, and then I heard you got to be big as a man. So I gained a lot of weight. I was like 240 pounds.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'11".
Okay.
And I was like 250 pounds. But I was like fat. I have a picture on my phone I posted on Instagram. And I remember when I was that big, I didn't know how big I was. You hear you're a big guy, but I was going to the gym, so I'm thinking, oh, I got muscle. And then one day I saw a picture of me and my ex-girlfriend. It was her graduation. At the time, she was my girlfriend. And I didn't recognize myself. Like, I knew it was me, and I asked her, I'm like, who's that next to you in the picture? And she goes, that's you. I'm like, I knew it was me, but in that moment when I realized,
There was a disconnect.
I'm like, there's no way that's me. Like, you're so big, even my eyes look small. I was big. And in that moment, I'm like, I gotta lose weight. Now, that wasn't the kick I needed. It's a bit PG now. So one day, you're in a couple, you're doing certain things with her in the bed. And then I remember she says, stop moving. I'm like, why? She had to lift up my stomach while we're having sex. And she had to move it because I was pulling on her skin too much.
Oh,
And that was the day the switch went off. And I was like, she doesn't know to this day, but that was the day I'm like, I have to lose this freaking weight. I don't know how I'm going to do it.
yeah. Well, that's a hell of a kicker right there.
Oh, but to this day, she doesn't know. And that's when the switch went off. Like, I got to lose weight.
How long ago was this?
That was 9 years ago.
9 years ago.
Yeah, that's when the switch went off. I've done every diet in the world. I did fasting, I did keto, I lost weight, I gained weight. So my thing was I was able to lose the weight, but I kept gaining it back.
Yeah, that's usually the.
Exactly. And then that's what put me on this journey of how do you keep the weight off permanently? I'm sick and tired of this yo-yo diet. And then that's when my journey started. I documented on Instagram for like 2 years maybe. And I got a few people reaching out, like, how are you eating Oreo cookies and losing weight? I got a crazy six-pack, drinking a beer on the weekend, having wine, random days, donuts. And long story short, that's where the passion came because I loved it. And every time I gave people advice on what to do, it always worked.
So how do you do it exactly? I know you calculate your calories,
Yeah.
but let's just say on a regular day, you don't eat those things.
Yeah.
Right? So you have a full active day.
Yeah.
And a day that you do eat a donut and have that beer and have that wine, so you do an extra seance of sports?
Oh,
Or you eat less?
I started to plan my days in advance. So let's say I know, okay, today my friends are coming over, we're gonna have pizza. My calories is 2,000 calories. So I'd make sure I go to the gym, I get my 10,000 steps in. So those two things are done.
10,000 steps in.
Yeah, so that's roughly like an hour and a half of walking.
Okay.
Yeah, so I track it, right? So once those two are done, now I have to make sure that when my friends come, everything is pre-calculated in my head. So I know if we're gonna have pizza, I know one slice of pizza is 300 calories.
Shit,
So-
you're fun.
no, but they didn't know that, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying all the effort that you're doing.
Yeah, but it reached a point where I was experimenting with myself because I saw there was a big gap with people struggling with it. So I was like, okay, if I have 3 slices of pizza, that's 600 calories or 700 calories, and I eat in my regular healthy food, whatever, potatoes, can I still lose weight? So it became like a game for me.
Yeah.
And then I did it, and next morning I get on the scale, my weight kept dropping. And then I did it for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year, and 3 or 4 years later, my weight never went up.
So now you reach a level where you're just maintaining.
Yeah, now I'm doing a bulk. I was talking to my coach. I'm like, okay, I want to start putting on some serious muscle size. So now I'm eating more food to try to gain some muscle, at least a good 10 pounds of muscle in a year. That's what I'm going for.
For this year.
Yeah, for this year. Yeah,
That's your target.
that's my target. Yeah.
And then next year it can be something else.
Yeah, then I'll diet back down and we'll see how much muscle I gained in 1 year.
Okay, but you're not the average guy, right? So let's just say for a regular person like me,
Yeah, regular person.
I just want to maintain something, a lifestyle,
Yeah.
right? I don't mind the calculating. I don't mind, whatever it is. So what's the ideal? So you're 5'11", I'm 5'10". So what's your advised or regular weight would be? Around 190, I think.
5'10", I'd say 180, 190, about that range.
Yeah, those
it depends where you're comfortable too, right? If
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
comfortable
yeah.
at 190, then go for
No,
it.
because my lowest
Yeah.
when I just do regular things is 194 and 193.
Okay.
When I said I have about 10 to 15,
Yeah.
I was aiming for 180, give or take.
Yeah.
And then that way I can go 5 up, 5 down
Of course. Yeah.
and maintain. But I don't want to go crazy
Yeah.
because already I have a very, like I said, good habits. I do have cravings here and there,
Of course. Yeah.
but it doesn't kill me. Since I'm very active and everything,
Yeah.
I just feel like I stagnated.
Okay.
And it's probably what you were saying, that reverse diet thing. Because sometimes I don't eat and I'm still gaining weight.
Okay. Yeah, that happens. Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't understand. Like I've been eating super well the last week. I come
Yeah.
on the weight
Still.
and I'm like, oh shit,
Going up.
I'm at 197. I'm like, how's that possible?
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to see for the average Joe, right? For women and men. Again, I'm guessing women and men, it's different.
Almost the same.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a few differences, but
Yeah.
nothing crazy.
So it goes up to the same journey, same. Okay. So what are things to avoid? Let's just say.
Nothing. For that, first thing I'll tell you is what do you love to eat? So you like what's one thing you love to eat?
I don't know. Fries, I guess.
Right. So first thing I'll do is the first week is I'll give you a diet plan as an example. Like, okay, you want to get to this number, we have to figure out what your caloric deficit is. So we have to figure out your habits. So step 1 would be, I'll give you a meal plan that we make together, right? So you have to be present. So if you tell me, listen, man, I'm not home the whole day, I don't see myself stopping to eat something. Okay, let's make a meal plan that you could stick to for 1 week. And our goal in 1 week is to see how much weight you could lose, right? So let's say we find out your deficit is 2,000 calories, right? And you've dropped 2 pounds that week. Okay, great. Now we know your deficit is 2,000 calories. All you have to do now is just monitor what you're eating for the day. So option 1, you could meal prep. But if you're too busy and you can't meal prep, then wherever you go eat, just try your best to eat the same food for like 2 weeks.
So let me ask. This is something that happens often to me. Like let's just say I'm still at work and I'm breaking my fast at 4. What would be the healthiest fast food option?
Healthiest fast food option. Personally, I'll do like a Mandy salad. That's just me personally.
Yeah,
But
$20 tiny salad. Yeah,
But if,
okay.
if that's not there, honestly, it might sound insane. I might even do like a Subway me.
Yeah, I used to do the veggie sandwich.
Yeah, I might do like a Subway. That's what I would have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because those are what? A Subway 6 inches, what? We're talking about 800?
Yeah, 600-700 calories. Yeah, I'll do something like that. Yeah,
With 2,000, that would give you 1,200 left.
1,200 left. Yeah.
So it's really your calculation. You go with the 2,000 and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd say start with 2,000 and make sure you're walking, getting your 10,000 steps in. But if I'm really, let's say, I was going to coach you, I'll say also focus to make sure your protein intake is pretty high and your fiber intake is high too, because those two macronutrients help you burn more fat, fiber and protein.
Fiber and protein. Okay, yeah, makes sense. I guess I'll have to restudy the whole thing because I find myself, and I'm guessing this happens to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yes, meal prepping would be the solution to everything, but even that, I still have to like bring it with me.
True.
That's
Exactly.
the issue. In winter, it's not a problem. It's cold, so if you leave it in the car, it's okay. During
Yeah.
the winter, most of the things you can't.
True. But it also comes down to motivation, I noticed. The motivate, because I'll be honest with you, I've coached a lot of people, and once they lose that first, let's say 4 pounds in the first week, I've seen like a switch go off where it's like, wait, if I could do 4 this week, what would happen in 30 days? And then all of a sudden they're meal prepping, they're carrying everything they need, and they just start doing everything. So I've noticed that sometimes if you get a big result in the first week, then the motivation just comes.
Me in my case, it's not necessarily the result. The motivation comes from if I can make it turn consistent.
Yeah.
As long as I can I'm a very organized person.
Okay.
As you can see, I do a
Yeah.
million things. So as long as I know what to start, where to end, what to do, and what not to do, as long as that's very clear
Yeah.
and precise, the rest is just to follow the plan.
True.
You need a plan.
100%. 100%.
Problem is, I don't have a plan. And
Step one.
that's step one. Like, even if I go to the gym, yes, I've been training for 20 years now, on and off, of course. Now I'm very motivated because of my son. He wants to go. So, he's pushing me a little bit further without even noticing.
Yeah.
But sometimes I get home and I open the fridge and I'm like, why should I do this? Let me just pick this quickly.
Yeah.
Just to, fill in the hole and then pass on. And I'm like, I'll burn it later on.
Yeah.
That's my issue because I don't have a clear target.
Okay.
Because the motivation of losing weight or being fit or trying to, I'm 45. So I'm like, I want to be those guys at 50 that look better than they were younger.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm still looking for that. Somebody, like, it's not the motivation to push me because I think I have it.
Yeah.
I just need that plan, that guidance.
Yeah.
I don't need somebody in my ear constantly.
Yeah, for
just
sure.
somebody's like, try this for 2 weeks
Yeah.
or dare me. It's pretty much that's all I need.
Yeah.
I dare you to do this for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Because I went vegan for 6 months
Okay.
and I was like, no problem.
Yeah.
I went vegetarian for 6 years
Okay.
and had no problem.
Yeah.
Once I decided I was doing it,
Of course. Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah.
And I had a clear plan.
Yeah.
So once I told myself starting Monday, I will.
Yeah.
Sunday, I did a big barbecue, did all the meat out, invited everybody. And then the next day, I did the grocery shopping and we were fully
Yeah.
vegan house.
Vegan. Okay. Yeah.
That was the 6 months. And then I was like, the only reason I stopped being vegan, because the results mentally were amazing.
Okay.
I was barely bloated,
Yeah.
sleeping like a baby, my energy levels to the top.
Okay.
The only issue I was having is on my social life was becoming a problem.
Of course. Yeah.
Because I became the people I hate the most. The annoying people that you go to a restaurant, did you put butter in this?
Okay.
And I was like, so
Yeah.
I started eating before going out.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm not liking my.
Yeah. That's what happens. Yeah.
Exactly. So that was my issue. It wasn't necessarily the result. I need something that it could be maintained
Yeah.
with my regular daily routine. Right? I don't want to be that guy that annoys everybody. Excuse me, I'll bring my own stuff and shit like that. It's not in me.
Nah, I feel you. I think honestly, someone like you, flexible diet would be the way to go. You just have to know how to do it, right? And like I said, if you get like the Carbon app, I used that myself when I was stuck, and
I'll definitely try it.
it was. I remember when I did it. I was telling my friend, I'm like, that was so easy, and everybody I've coached, 100%. At some point, they stop tracking because I tell everybody, you're just tracking just to know how much you're
Yeah,
eating.
to learn from what
Yeah, after 6 months, I tell all my clients, now don't track for the next 2 weeks. Let's see how your body's going to behave. And none of them have gain weight or lose weight. They might gain like a pound or two. And
But that's, yeah.
I'm like, you healed. That's it. Right? And they get it after 6 months.
And then they maintain it.
Yeah, 100%. I do a follow-up sometimes, like I said, a year later. Nope, weight's been kept off. But most of them got in the habit of just tracking, not everything they eat, but just being aware, like, okay, let me just see where I'm at today in terms of what I ate. They did a study where they found people who lost weight and why they kept it off. And those those 3 things they had. Number 1 was they had to become a different person. So meaning they had to become good at practicing willpower sometimes, knowing that I've eaten 2,000 calories today, and I know if I overdo it, that's not going to be good for me. Number two was they had to also change their relationship with food, realizing that I could eat whatever I want and not gain weight. And the biggest one that I noticed for those people as well was that they got good at understanding portions. Because they tracked for, let's say, a year or so, they got so good at just looking and saying, that's too much, that's too little. And even if they did overeat a day, then let's say today they overate, they were fine the next day. If their weight went up, they knew exactly what to do. Okay, today I overate, tomorrow I'm just going to eat a little bit less.
It's funny. I was reading a book last week about portions in Japan specifically.
Yeah.
They are known when it comes to food to always eat all the way to 80% of your hunger.
Something I heard that before, yeah. Intuitive eating.
Yeah. And that's why they're super healthy and they maintain a certain weight.
Yeah.
Add to that their natural diet, a lot of fish, a lot of veggies and fruits.
True.
And they were saying that you should never eat till you're full.
Makes sense.
Because once you feel full, your body has to slow down
100%.
to burn everything and to, put everything in compartments.
Yeah.
So they're like, if you can eat all the way that you don't feel hungry anymore,
Yeah.
but not to overeat,
Yeah.
is actually one of the best ways to maintain or lose weight in that sense.
True.
Because depending on how active you are. If you're not active and you just eat to 80%, you should maintain.
100%, yeah.
And because as we grow older, everything slows down.
For sure.
So it's just a habit to maintain. And I was like, because if you look at different cultures, they have different philosophies.
Yeah.
But one of the oldest population average is in Japan right now,
Yeah.
right? Especially south of Japan. And they were talking about they don't necessarily have a vegan diet, but very close to.
Yeah.
They just eat fish and I think
Rice and stuff like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of rice. But that's just to help, burn the thing. And the
Yeah.
protein intake is pretty much because they eat a lot of pork.
Yeah, okay.
And they maintain a certain level where like 3 or 4 times a week they'll have a portion, but the rest is really fish.
Yeah.
And they're very active.
Okay.
Because they work in their gardens. They're always moving.
Yeah.
They're never too lazy, not a lot of TV and stuff like that. And they kept on coming back to portions,
Okay.
like your portion. And there was this, what was it? A doctor, I think he was saying. He's like, even when it comes to eating, relationship to eating, he's like, let's just say you have a plate, steak, veggies, and rice or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, you should always eat in order of priority. So meaning that even if you finish the plate, it's okay.
Yeah.
But you should always start, let's just say, your proteins,
Yeah.
then your veggies.
Yeah.
And if you have room, you can eat the bad stuff.
Yeah.
That means at least you ate the best part first.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Because if you're full by the time you hit the veggies,
Yeah.
you won't be eating that extra fat and whatever. So I'm like, these are all little habits
Yeah.
that you can get used to on your daily routine and daily life.
For sure.
But here, specifically in Montreal, it's really funny because we were noticing that all the places that are open very late is always fast food.
For sure. Yeah.
You're never going to have a healthy option late at night.
Rarely.
I'm not a big fan of salads.
Okay.
I find them just plain and boring, and they don't do it for me. Like I'll eat the salad, and 15 minutes later I'll be hungry again.
Same.
So I just I'll eat my veggies. I rather zucchinis, whatever, like thicker mushrooms and stuff like that to fill in carrots and stuff like that. But lettuce, spinach, I get kale, I get, but lettuce for me is water.
Yeah. It's nothing.
It's nothing. So just eating, and I don't know the level of interest or requirement needed in your diet, regular diet, for it actually to be useful in that sense.
True.
And then there was the other big factor was alcohol.
Yeah.
So because of that, I saw a study that said, I think tequila is number 1,
Okay.
and then gin and vodka comes second and third tie, depending on what you chase it with.
Yeah.
Ideally water, ice, or soda.
Okay.
And those we're talking about 45 calories a drink.
Yeah. Roughly. Yeah.
So it's like if you're going to have 3-4 drinks,
Yeah.
at least on the calorie front, you're good.
Yeah.
I think like a tequila water, I think is like 30.
Something like that. Yeah.
And the angava is actually somewhat good for you
Okay.
from a vegetable. I think there's minerals. Again, don't quote me on this 100%. So you had to pick and choose your poison in that sense.
Okay.
And I'm like, there's so many like tricks in here and there, and trying to incorporate them to your daily life.
It's a lot of work.
That's what I'm saying. Because
Yeah.
when I was listening to you, when you were saying, "Oh, I'm having friends, I'm gonna have 3 pizzas," and no,
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, but I guess now it's natural for you.
Yeah, even my clients now, even they get it now. Like I had a call last week with 5 of them because I talk to them some on Thursday or Friday. I'm like, okay, what's your plan this weekend? You have a party? Yeah, I got a party coming up, and I'm like, what are you gonna do? Just to see if they've learned, and they'll say the same thing. I'm gonna fast into the party. At the party comes, I have like 3 slices of pizza. I should be fine, and then from there, whatever, and always works.
So they always have a plan.
Yeah, no plan. If you don't plan, you fail, right? If you're just gonna wing it, so it's very simple. If you eat more than 2,000 calories, you're gonna gain weight. And if you're in a fat loss program, right? If you eat 2,000 calories or a little bit less, you're gonna lose weight. So now they know. So her deficit's 1,500. So she knows parties at 6 p.m. She's gonna fast until like 4 or 5 when she gets to the party. Is what I always tell them: eat whatever you want. Don't even count your calories when you go there. Practice intuitive eating. Stop at 80%. If you see a slice of pizza, have 1, 2, 3. I don't care how many you have, because now more advanced stuff I teach them is we have a goal for the week. So per week, every day your goal is, let's say, 2,000 calories, right? But let's say if you have a party coming up on Saturday, on Thursday, I'll say, okay, eat 1,500 calories on Thursday, 1,005 on Friday. Now you have 1,000 calories surplus you could take into your Saturday.
That actually how it works?
Yeah, 100%. To lose a pound of fat, you have to burn 3,500. But my advanced students know how to do it now. So I teach them like just less on Thursday.
So you can like go 4 days, let's just say, and then on the 5th, 6th day, because I read a lot of research on that like those are like, I call those like cheat days.
A refeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, refeed, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, refeeds, they're good for the mindset. 'Cause
Yeah.
at some point, it does get cumbersome counting your calories. And I always ask my clients, how do you feel? Are you getting irritated? If I see them say I'm getting irritated, I say, oh, for a week, stop counting, right? So I've noticed that a refeed day, I say eat less Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, just almost like YOLO, but be mindful, and they'll do it. And then Sunday, they'll go back to normal, and they're happy.
Yeah, that's the most important part is the happiness that comes to it, the
100%.
reward, right?
Yeah.
And finding that. So what was the biggest obstacles you had with clients?
I think I used to push them too hard in the beginning.
So you were too kind, but pushing them too hard, and then you became mean, pushed them less.
In the beginning, and I didn't know how to be. I didn't know how to be more of a mindset coach. I was more of just okay. Did you go to gym? Did you do this? But I realized if they want to work out, just go on ChatGPT. They could find one.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to be a coach, not a friend. I'm more of a coach, but majority of them I start to know more about their personal life. Like one girl, her dad died during the journey, and she was very like, "Hey, my dad just died. I can't go." And it was just more like, okay, don't go to the gym. How can I help you? She's like, I don't know, just be there for me. I was like, okay, go to the gym then. and she's like, you're right. I'm like, because going to the gym is going to help distract you. But I say, don't track your food this week. Don't jump on the scale this week. In fact, for the next 3 weeks, don't jump on the scale. Just do whatever you have to do. And she was fine. She lost 54 pounds. Another client lost her job. And I said, don't pay me. When you get a job, you pay me. So for 6 months, she didn't pay me.
You're a good guy.
Yeah, I think I coached her for a year actually. I think 8 months, and then after like eight months, I'm like, okay, I think we're good in our journey. I'm like, I think you're good. I can let you go. She actually begged me to stay with me. She's like, no, I'm gonna stay with you. What's your fee? I'm like, okay. So I gave her my fee, and she paid me. Yeah.
What is your fee, if you don't mind me asking?
My fee, well, it's 1,500 for 4 months.
1,500 for 4 months.
Exactly. Then that's the food program. That's nutrition and gym coaching. So like they get a gym program and nutrition.
Okay.
If it's just nutrition coaching, it's $200 per month.
$200 per month, and that includes what? The prep?
I'm pretty much coaching them through nutrition. So week 1, here's what you got to do. Follow my plan for the first week. All right, this is my plan. We talk on the phone once a week, but there's an app we use where I can just check in on them. Like, are you actually tracking your food? Right?
Really?
Yeah, I can see everything they eat.
So I have to put in the food and you see what I put in?
Yeah, exactly. Because if you say I'm eating healthy, I'm like, well, how many calories? I don't know. I can't see that, right? So for example, let's say your deficit is 2,000 and we find out you're eating 1,000 calories. I'll be like, here's your meal plan. I actually want you to log everything I just gave you. Your goal is just copy paste what I gave you. Copy paste. Okay, tomorrow morning, jump on the scale. I'll look at your numbers. Numbers are good. I'll send you a voice note on the app. Hey, you're doing good. Keep it up to date. I can see your steps are low. Make sure you get 10,000 steps. So I see everything on my side.
Wow, so you monitor everything.
I see their sleep, their how if they did 10,000 steps, I see everything.
But that's them putting it manually.
No, it's everything is synced from there. If they have an Apple Watch, it's synced to the phone already, so I see everything.
Oh, so they have to. But when do they charge this Apple Watch?
When they sleep.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But some of them keep it on when they're sleeping, right?
Yeah.
Some have a Fitbit, doesn't matter. So week 1, I tell you what to eat because I'm just trying to figure out what's your deficit.
Yeah.
Once I figure that out, week 2, simple question is, what are you craving? Usually it's nothing. Okay, nothing. Fine. Week 2, same meal plan. Go to the gym. Try do this. Drink your water. Week 3, then I start to play with them a little bit. Like, okay, this week now I'm gonna give you the power. You know to track your food, but I want you to make your meal plan right now in front of me, and I'm gonna watch you. And then they go on Zoom. They share their screen, and they start to make their meal plan. But what I'm teaching them is to understand that you could eat whatever you want and lose weight. So I've had clients literally be like, okay, I want a Tim Hortons donut tomorrow. Put it in. I want a burger from McDonald's, put it in. And then when they've put it in, I said, now look, you're in a deficit despite eating McDonald's and Tim Hortons. Tomorrow, follow that meal plan. They'll do it, they lose weight. And then I pretty much like a father, like you're free. Do whatever you want. I'm just going to track your food every day to make sure you're actually sticking to it. And then
That's very interesting.
yeah, and then I've seen the weirdest food logs sometimes. Like, you ate that? Like, there's no way you're going to lose weight. And then that's you dropping weight. But it's the happiness that they have after like 6 weeks. You can just see it in their face.
Yeah.
Like one girl to this day, she still calls me like, I still can't believe I drink wine on the weekend. I still lose weight. Like it blows her mind. And she's healthier. She went to the doctor, even did blood work. And the doctor's like, you're fine.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the very nuance and the little gray zone of where people should still enjoy life.
Very important.
Right? Because a lot of people go into these extremes and then they reach it. And then after that, they go back to their regular habits and then it goes back down.
Yep.
So the trick is to find that balance that you can maintain the rest of your life
Exactly.
without feeling guilty of pleasuring yourself.
Exactly.
Especially food does secrete that little, hormone of pleasure and happiness. So because of that, I find it sad that people are like, oh my God, I had wine. And like, it's like a crime.
Exactly. And I hear people, and one thing people do is that when they're done their diet, the question they have is, what's next? They're like, what? And it's like, that's where you failed. Because now you're going back to, and they label food. Okay, now I'm going to eat healthy. What does that mean? Okay, I'm going to eat clean. What does that mean? So let's take off the labels I tell my clients. None of my clients I work with ever, after 2 weeks, I've never heard the word cheat meal before.
But that means this program is for life.
Yeah, because I teach them the tools they need after like 6, 7, 8 months, because there'll be ups and downs. It happens all the time. I've had people, yay, life is good. I hate you. I want to get a new coach.
Yeah.
It happens. Yeah, but once they learn the tools, they're free. They no one ever gains weight back. Knock on wood.
Yeah. The weight part I get but people eventually have different goals, different habits, different, then they fall in love and they get comfortable and stuff like that. It would be nice to maintain, but do you think it's sustainable to count your calories for the rest of your life?
No, I go through phases where I'll do 6 weeks of intense just tracking my food, and then I stop. After that, I'm good. I only track it when I have a goal.
Okay.
It's like right now I'm trying to put on muscle. There's what you call bulking in bodybuilding. You can gain fat, not muscle, right? So I'm like, okay, I got to be clean in my bulk so I don't gain too much fat. So now I'm tracking my calories.
Okay.
But I have so much, I have to eat like, I think almost 3,000 calories, right? Yeah, because my coach like, I'm like 3. So right now it's put me at 2,500. So I'm doing a reverse diet to get to 3,000. So I'm just tracking that. But it's fun because I actually have to force myself to eat. So I texted him before I came. I was like, I have to go to, and it's funny, I'm a coach and I have a coach
Yeah, it's
too,
like a shrink that has a shrink, for sure.
I was like, it's so funny. I have to go to Tim Hortons and get a donut. He's like, where are your carb? I'm like, I only have 50 grams of carbs. He's like, you better go get 2 donuts then. Because I have to eat at least 260 grams of carbs for me. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Just to keep my body fat low and to keep gaining muscle.
And how long are you supposed to maintain this?
I don't know. My body will let us know. So we're going to do every 3 months. I check on the scale. Do I like what I look? Okay, my abs will be gone for sure. They're pretty much gone now. And then we just keep tracking every month, see how my body responds.
But it's for a visual, or what's the purpose of this challenge exactly?
It's just a new goal. I'm like, okay, let's see how much muscle can I put on in the next year. Because I have clients who want to gain muscle, people who want to lose weight. So now I get clients who want to bulk. I've done a bulk before in the past, but now this is when I'm actually very like militant with it. I'm not restricting myself. I eat whatever I want.
So you're test driving your own stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just sticking to my macros. I had 2 beers in the weekend with my friends. And of course, I just checked them. I was like, okay, that's 200 calories, whatever. I'm fine. Yeah.
Shit, that's just listening to you. I'm like, my God.
It's easy though.
No, I know it's easy, but it's a lot of thinking, constantly thinking. And this is where, in my case, it worries me a bit. Where a simple, what I did to help my life
Yeah.
is to create habits
Yeah.
that don't require thinking.
Okay.
I never drink coffee in my life until the past 5 years
Okay.
because I heard it's good for your memory.
Okay.
So because of that, they're like, yeah, but don't take it with milk or sugar. So I take my coffee black.
You see the difference now? Yeah. And
But I'm
some
not a big milk drinker anyway. So
Yeah.
I always drink my coffee black.
Okay.
So that's 0 calories. And I don't take more than 2. So
Okay.
1 in the morning, sometimes 1 at 4.
Okay.
I take a lot of tea,
Okay.
no sugar, no nothing. So that's 0 calories there.
Yeah.
Water, of course. Then from there, I'm like, okay, I got to fill in other things.
Of course. Yeah.
Right? So the protein, yes. Well, I'll eat red meat maybe once or twice a week.
Yeah.
The rest is fish and chicken. So I'm like, protein side, I should be fine.
Yeah.
Then I'm just like, what else can I eat? Because I don't mind eating the same thing regularly.
Okay. Same.
I just need to know
Yeah.
that it's not going against my goals or health.
Okay.
Because for me, it's not about the weight. It's not about the 6-pack.
Yeah.
Those were when I was younger.
Yeah.
Now I just want to feel healthy
Yeah.
and my energy levels.
True.
It's really my energy levels. But I realize that if I'm busy,
Yeah.
my energy levels are always top. I'm never
sure.
tired.
100%. Yeah.
But especially during the winter where there's less things happening,
Less activity. Yeah.
exactly, I find myself always tired.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not liking this energy,
Yeah.
right? Sometimes I finish work, kids are doing their homework, and I
Yeah.
just fall asleep on the couch.
You're exhausted,
Like
yeah.
a nap.
Uh-huh.
Like these power naps, and now naps are doing me worse.
Okay.
Usually it used to give me energy, now
Yeah.
it makes me even tired.
Okay.
So I go to the sauna 4 times a week,
Okay.
and when I come out of that, I'm full of energy. I don't know why.
It's hot in there. Yeah.
Yeah. But because my body is moving, right?
Yeah.
When I do basketball or soccer, I have difficulty going to bed
Yeah.
because the games are super late. That's another thing that I'm hating because I go to bed at 2. Usually I'm in bed at 10:30, 11.
Yeah.
But every morning after sports,
Yeah.
I'm starving.
Okay.
I did a 72-hour fast once.
Okay.
That was incredible.
Okay.
Mentally, I loved it.
Okay.
They say you should do it twice a year.
Okay. I've heard that before too. Yeah.
A friend of mine, he did a 92-hour one
Okay.
just for a challenge.
Okay.
They say that the ideal is a little bit over 48,
Okay.
all the way to 72 tops.
Yeah.
And what it does, it resets your whole body
Okay.
because you only drink water, tea, and coffee. That's
Yeah.
all you're taking literally during those 3 days. The first 24 hours are pretty easy.
Yeah.
The 48th, like that second day,
Yeah. It's hard.
but you're super focused.
Okay.
It's really interesting. Like you'll have these moments where you're starving because I still had to cook for the kids.
Of course. Yeah. And just smelling
Right?
that food.
Smell the food and everything. And
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, man, I still have 24 hours. I'm very hard headed.
Yeah.
Once I got to the third day,
Yeah. You're like, I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
But I felt refreshed.
True.
But they tell you don't do it regularly
No,
because
of
it's not
course.
good for you.
Yeah.
So my next one is probably, but I can only do it when it's not beautiful outside.
That's what summer would be harder for me. To do
Yeah.
that. Yeah. I don't think I would be able to. Winter is like your home, right? So
But I have to be busy. I cannot be doing crazy fasting
yeah,
and staying home doing nothing.
of course.
Like if I have a busy day of, whatever, errands or whatever, I have to help somebody move.
Yeah.
Best moment to actually do the fast.
For sure.
Because you're mentally busy.
Yeah.
So you don't have time to just stay. And that's where the snacking comes from, right?
True. Yeah.
When you're
'Cause-
bored. Yeah, exactly. When you're
Happens to me all
bored,
the
your
time.
body's like, okay, feed me then.
Happens all the time.
And that's what I'm trying to re-educate myself. And I keep on telling everybody, I'm like, listen, I'm no expert or anything, but I can tell you one thing. If you keep busy, you're automatically going to burn more and you'll eat less
For sure.
by consequence.
Yeah, because you're out of sight, out of mind. You're so
Yeah.
caught up doing other things. Yeah.
The problem is when you sit down and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, let me go get popcorn, a cookie here. Because I don't have difficulty people eating in front of me.
Yeah.
But the minute that I'm not doing much, then it's just a struggle.
Happens to me all the time.
That's my biggest struggle,
Yeah.
to be honest. And the week I don't have the kids because we're separated, so I don't have the kid.
Yeah.
When I get home, there's nothing at home.
True. I know it's a struggle. Even for me, I've noticed, let's say if I'm dating someone, that could be a struggle too sometimes. Because like if I have a goal I'm working towards and now I'm dating someone and they want to go out to the movies, eat popcorn. For me, everything has to be planned. It's just when I have a go. But if I'm in maintenance, like for the summer where I'm like, I don't care if I have abs or not, then everything goes. But in the back of my head, I always remember, am I overeating or undereating? I always keep that in the back of my head.
Do you need to date somebody that has pretty much the same train of thought, or because you just mentioned it in a sense, right? It's harder.
Not really. I just wouldn't date someone who's lazy. Like someone who just doesn't want to go to the gym, someone doesn't take care of themselves. It wouldn't work because I've done that before in the past, and worst thing I ever did for myself.
So she needs to go to the gym.
Not religiously, but she just has to. If she goes for yoga, that's fine. If she
Okay.
goes for,
She has to be active.
yeah, but not like I don't like. For example, what I do is it's a gift and the curse when it comes to dating because women meet me and they see what I do. It's like, oh, he's one of those, you know.
Yeah.
They think, oh, I date a girl with 6-pack abs. I'm like, actually, I'm not attracted to that. I'd rather meet someone who understands the power of taking care of your body, eating good, but let's have a pizza tomorrow. Like, I'm not that strict. Let's have a glass of wine on the weekend. Heck, let's have a whole bottle of wine. That's fine with me.
Yeah, that's why. Because usually people have tendency of looking for people that have the same lifestyle.
Exactly. I've tried it before, dating someone really strict, and I'm into it. I was more annoyed with her. She was way more strict than me.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't date this person. It's too much.
That they calculated everything and
She was just like, you can't even have a pizza. You can't have cookies. If the cookies has to be organic cookies, I'm like, this is going to be the death of me. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just,
It's not natural anymore.
yeah, I'm like, everything has to be organic. Like, what if I just want a water? But is the water bottle, what plastic is it? I don't know.
All those eco-friendly types of people.
Yeah, like, but
Trying to save the
everything
planet.
very extreme. Everything was too extreme. I was like, this is too much. I like flexibility, so it just didn't work.
So okay, so what are the not the red flags? I was gonna say the non-negotiables when it comes to because you're in the business,
Yeah.
right? Because it's your lifestyle
Yeah.
and everything. Is there certain things that are like? Would you? I wouldn't say a client, but if somebody's active but not healthy,
Okay.
you would be okay with that.
Define not healthy. Like,
Let's just say a smoker.
no, I wouldn't date a smoke. I've tried it before. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
Just kissing them was horrible. That's why it didn't work. I'm like, I told her I can't kiss you. Yeah, so it didn't work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
that's
big
like
problem if you can't kiss them. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
I've tried it, not for me.
Okay, so in other words, you're very flexible. It's not
Very flexible. As long as they don't try to control me, I never try to control them. Like one time I told a girl I was kind of seeing, I'm like, my work is social media. So sometimes if I'm out in public, I might just get an idea. I'm an artist sometimes. So I might get an idea and just be like, can you record me? I have something to say. I might post it on Instagram in 2 months. But it bothered her that sometimes if we're hanging out, I might be like, I have a great idea. Do you mind just film me for 30 seconds? That's all I need. And it started to bother her. And I'm like, okay, this is weird because I've dated women who in the past, they know my work. I would tell them straight up, like, listen, I'm not on social media a lot, as it looks like I am. I'm not on my phone. But if we're walking, I might have an idea on the spot to make a video that says the benefits of, for example, I took this video the other day. I was walking with one of my friends and I say to her, I want to make a video right now. So I got my microphone, I put it on, and she was laughing like, you have a microphone everywhere? I'm like, it's with me everywhere I go. And I made a video saying, you don't have to run to burn fat. You could just walk and take 10,000 steps. That took us 25 seconds. Clip, cut, done. I tried that with an ex of mine one time, and that bothered her. So I realized that
But what bothered her exactly?
because I wasn't present during the date because I had an idea.
okay.
And
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, it's 25 seconds. And I never did that before. Then I realized, okay, I think those other red flags, this is not going to work.
You need to find yourself an influencer.
I've dated one, then those were too extreme too. Yeah.
I was being very sarcastic, but yes, I figured. So before we conclude this, so what's your next goal from a business point of view?
My goal is to get to 100 clients.
Okay.
100 clients online, that's the goal.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
you're at how much right now?
Right now I'm at 50.
Okay, so you're halfway there.
Yeah, so I want to get to 100 clients. I want to scale my business to start making 100,000 a month. That's the goal I'm working on. And to hire a team of other coaches like myself just to help me run. Because 100 clients, that's a lot of people to have.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a lot of Zooms and a lot of
A lot of it, yeah.
That's a full. This is your full time job.
Full time, yeah.
Okay. Wow. Why don't you open up an app?
Oh, I have an app. There's an app called TrainerWise that I use.
Okay.
So they do all the work for me. So opening up my own would be pointless because they do everything for
Yeah.
us. Yeah. So they put the meals for you, the workouts, everything's there.
Huh.
Like sometimes I record myself in the gym and I can upload my workouts on the app and my clients can watch me work out.
And when you do your videos, what's the purpose exactly? Is just to educate, or is it like you use it as promo for your programs?
On Instagram?
Yeah.
Usually educate. And from there, that's when I get someone send me a DM like, okay, I've tried everything. I like what you're saying about carbs. I need help. And that's how I get them. on
Yeah,
the program.
your videos, I'll give you that much credit. They're very creative.
Thank you.
And very educational.
Yeah.
And very graphic. I love your yellow fat thing there.
Yeah.
And no, it does definitely. You do have the persona on social media. Are you just on Instagram, or are you on TikTok? Are you?
I'm on TikTok, but it's not really. TikTok I find is it's for kids. I'm not making any money off TikTok. I think I made like one client in a year of TikTok.
Really?
I got one video got 1.8 million views. I made $0.
Really?
Yeah, it was kids. Like they'll DM me, hey, I need your help. How old are you? 15. You want to lose weight at 15? No, I can't work with you. I'm 13. I'm 12. I'm 11.
But it's only losing weight. You don't use. Let's just say my son is 14 and he wants to develop
muscle.
Exactly.
Yeah, I do that too. But just that my bio says weight loss.
Oh, okay, that's
yeah.
it. So that's where you're
Exactly.
going towards right now.
Yeah, but I can do weight gain. The only thing is that weight gain is harder than weight loss.
Is it?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I would have thought weight gain is the easiest.
If somebody wants to gain muscle, the first thing I tell them is be super patient because you won't see a result in 3 months. If you're trying to gain muscle.
Oh yeah, that's definitely.
Like
but
gain weight, you gain fat. That's different, yeah.
But I feel like, gaining muscle
Yeah.
is a straight line, pretty much.
It's the hardest thing you could ever do. You could train for a year and maybe gain 6 pounds of muscle. Of solid muscle, about 6 pounds.
So now I have to ask you the question. I thought I was finishing this, but okay, now I'm on the other opposite of the spectrum. What's the biggest misconceptions when it comes to gaining muscle then?
People, those Instagram influencers they see? Number one, they're all on steroids.
Yes.
I know for a
It's
fact.
very
'cause
common thing. Yes.
I know hundreds of them.
Yeah. I believe you.
So unfortunately, people want that physique. Number two, some of those guys, I give them the flowers. They've been training for 10 years plus. So if you've been training 10 years plus, like for example, this is female influencers. I hate them. They say get a booty like mine in 30 days. It took her 6 years to get there.
But she's not lying. Maybe she went to a doctor. It took her.
Yeah,
Hey, nowadays.
that's what I'm saying, right? Like one influencer, I even DM'd her. I'm like, that took you 5 years to get there, and you're telling them in 30 days you're gonna get here, right? And there's a guy called Goob. Look him up on Instagram. He's called Goob_U something. He starts to call out influencers who Photoshop their pictures, and I didn't know they Photoshop, but I realized even the best of the best influencers all Photoshop their pictures.
Yeah. That's.
But I didn't know how bad it was till he started doing
You were
it.
naive to the.
I was so naive, bro. When I saw, I'm like, oh my gosh. So now I've realized I have one girl, her name was Nani. She wants to gain muscle to look like an influencer. But the poor girl, she's training so hard. And no matter how hard I tell her, Nani, it's going to take you a year to see this much progress. It's like, she doesn't want to hear that.
So, are you against steroids?
If you're transparent about it, I'm not against it.
Okay.
If someone says, listen, I got this physique and I took steroid, no problem.
No, but would you be okay if a client comes up to you and is like, listen, I need a program. I'm going to do a cycle of juicing.
I'll say, no problem. You know what you're doing. I can't tell you how to do it. I know friends who do it, so I could recommend, but do it. If you want to do it. I want to tell you what to do for the cycle. I'll take care of your diet and your training.
Because it's really, again, I remember juicing was the most taboo thing,
Oh, yeah.
right? Now it's becoming so common.
Everybody's doing it.
Everybody's doing it.
Everybody.
And the thing is, even on the Mr. Olympia, whatever, there's a section clean
Yeah.
and freestyle, they call it, right? They don't want to say juiced.
Yeah.
And before, it would be inconceivable
Yeah.
to actually say to people, it's like you would feel like a cheater.
100%.
But now everybody's cheating,
Mm-hmm.
even, for that booty in 30 days and
All of them.
that stomach. And, even Drake is being accused of lipo and shit
Exactly.
like that.
Everybody.
But it's crazy. So how do you motivate people not to, instead of
Look.
spending a year
Yeah.
on personal training and whatever, when you can, it's pretty much the same price.
That's why I read a lot of books. I'm reading a book by John Maxwell, How to Influence People. And I've realized that people just need encouragement. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's the motivation is pretty much the top.
Yeah. So my point is, when I started reading that book, I realized that to keep my clients going, every week I have to genuinely encourage them because I'll see something they're doing really good over and over. That reassurance, like you're doing good, you're doing great. Look, your weight dropped. So that's what they look for me as well.
Because I met some people not a long time ago, and they were like, "Oh, I'm just gonna do a cycle of steroids just to get
I've seen it all the
to
time.
that plateau,
Yeah.
and then after that, I'll go fully natural."
Yeah.
But what happens
works.
mentally is because it was so easy to get there,
Yeah.
and then they're putting all the work and they're not seeing enough results. Like, okay, just another cycle,
Yeah.
and then just another cycle, and then you're infinitely
Exactly.
in that loop.
It's sad, yeah.
And it's so accessible now,
Yeah, you could literally, everybody has it.
but it's scary.
The amount of people I know who are on steroids, not say in their 40s, when I ask them, like, do you regret getting on steroids? The funny part is that over 95% say yes.
Yeah, the side effects and the repercussions.
And you know what's crazy? They prove a study came out that proves that people who take steroids have the worst body dysmorphia.
Yeah,
Because when they're off it, they can't look at themselves in the mirror.
but that's what Joe was telling me. They're the ones who have the most heart problems.
Yeah, heart problems. They hate their bodies. I know a friend of mine. If he walked in right now, he looks phenomenal off steroids. Like he looks like his name is Adonis. Looks like a god walking, but he loves his body. I could tell. But when he's off, you could tell he's just not comfortable. And I'm looking at him like,
Because he doesn't feel at his best.
yeah, he knows what it's like to be at his best. I'm like, man, I'm trying to look like you, and you don't like this. And he's ripped, like shoulders, everything. And I read the study that people who take steroids have the worst body dysmorphia. Like they don't like how they look.
Yeah, but that's where the mental illness comes from.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. 100%. So guess what? This cycle, you take trend, you take this, then your heart starts hurting, then you get this happen, and before you know it, now they're sick.
All this for one picture, one pause, ego.
Fame. But is it worth it at the end of the day? Is the guy you probably
Well,
know.
but there's going to be a lot of repercussions. Social media is like people don't realize they're looking at these influencers that are photoshopping on juice or been operated on,
Yeah.
showing these kind of perfect physiques.
Yeah.
Then once you try to get it or you reach it by cheating, still,
Of course, yeah.
it's going to cost you mentally, physically, health wise,
Yeah.
is crazy. They don't tell you about that part.
Yeah. You know Greg Doucette from Quebec?
I think so.
Yeah, he's famous. He has like 2 million followers on Instagram.
Okay.
He was on a podcast yesterday. On a YouTube. It's called Body Positivity. Like, are you against body positivity or not? You know? And he said something I'll never forget. He's jacked. He's like 5'7" and rich. But he says he wishes someone would have told him when he was younger not to take steroids. He's still on it. Now he's on TRT, looks great. But he wishes he had never taken it because now he can't. He broke the bench press record when he was a teenager, I think 16. But now, because steroids made him so strong, he can't even do bench press no more.
Why?
Because he was lifting so much weight. Like if you're lifting 500 pounds and you're 5'6", at some point your joints take a hit.
Oh, yeah.
So when he was on gear, he was strong. But when
Oh, so now he's injured.
he gets to train, but he won't be able to lift the same lifts he had
Oh,
before.
yeah,
he looks good. But he says, when he said that it hit so many buttons, I'm like, I wish people would have told all these guys before, like, don't get on that stuff right now. It's not worth it.
So, okay, so I'm going to close on this, actually. I'm going to throw you the question.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would say to your younger self with whatever you know today?
Oh, I had this, I literally say this to myself every day. When I started going to the gym, I stopped at one point because they're going to the party lifestyle, Ottawa days, college days. And then I see my friends who never stop. So I started lifting weights in 2009, right? And I stopped lifting. I see my friends in 2019 where they are physically, and it pisses me off because I started before most of them. And I always say, where would I have been if I just stayed consistent for those 10 years and never stopped? So what gives me hope now is I say, I'm 35. One day I'll be 50, and I see people who are 50 who look like they're 30.
Yeah.
So that's my motivation now when I go to the gym. I always just say, okay, I'll be 50 one day. So I don't even think of 36, 37. I'm like, I'll be 50 one day. I'll be 50 one day.
So I have to ask you, and again, this pod never ends. do you find, are you happy?
Oh, now I'm happy, yeah. Before I went through depression, but now I'm happy.
Okay. No, because I can hear it, but at the same time,
Yeah.
I feel like you're reaching for a goal, but because they say a lot when people have goals, it's not the important part, the journey or reaching that goal, it's the after the goal.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people feel a lot of emptiness
Yeah,
once, and I feel like you're a guy that likes to challenge yourself
yeah, for sure.
and you're hungry for challenges because what would happen if you didn't have a challenge?
I think we're meant to grow. I think God gives us challenges. If you get too comfortable, they say comfort is from the devil.
Really?
Yeah.
You believe that?
I think life is problems. I think there's a I'm telling you.
Wait, say that again. Life is problems.
Life is problems, yeah. But the Buddha said it best. Life is suffering. And Norman Vincent Peale said it best. He said, if you had to ask God for one prayer, ask for better problems. Because problems are going to help you grow as a person.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm agreeing with that. Like, I understand where it's coming from.
Yeah.
I get the nuance of it, the logic.
Yeah.
It's almost sarcastic.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It's a bit of sarcastic tone to it, yeah.
Because when you say problems, that would make the statement mean stress is good.
Well, what it means is that a lot of people are sad because they think they're not meant to have problems. So Tony Robbins said it best. It's like, your problem is you think you're not meant to have problems. That's why you're sad. So they're entitled to this, like, life should be beautiful, right? But when I realized that, oh gosh, problems is normal. It's a part of life.
Yeah, but happiness or enlightenment, even with Buddha, that is the goal.
Yeah.
The journey will have its ups and downs.
100%. So they're the ups and downs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but right now we're focusing only on the downs,
Yeah,
right? But sometimes it's good to have good,
of course, 100%.
right? I know you can't be on vacation every day, right?
Unfortunately.
But you shouldn't be working every day neither.
Yeah.
That's why. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it's very sad way of putting it. Let's just put it that way.
Because there's a book you should read. It's called The Universal Laws. God made the law of polarity, right? So you can't appreciate hot without cold. You can't appreciate cold without hot. So you can't appreciate success without suffering. Right?
Okay.
So meaning, when you go through a problem, how you handle that problem, how you view it, determines how your life's going to go. For example, this guy, I forget his name, whenever he goes through a problem in his life, he says good. That's literally all he says. Something bad happens, okay, good. Something good to come out of this, right?
Okay.
So my philosophy has been very simple. Because I went through a phase where I was depressed, suicidal, tried killing myself, all that stuff.
Really?
Yeah, here, my last attempt was like here on my wrist. This was like 7-8 years ago. Like, because when I moved to Montreal, I had no mom, no dad, no family. I was by myself. So huge depression hit me for like a good 2 years. I was on antidepressants. I was like, it's over. So I started reading books by myself to get myself out of that funk.
So the gym saved your life.
No, actually reading.
Reading did.
Reading saved my life. Because I used to go to the gym, but I'll come home, I'm like, there's no one to talk to. Because there was literally nobody to talk to when I came back home. Right? Like,
Are you a religious person?
Yeah, I believe in God.
Okay.
Like, I'm more spiritual now, but I was born Catholic. So when I get home, there's no one to talk to. So I'm sitting there, my roommate's there. He's much younger than me. We're not best friends. He's my friend. I'm sitting in my room. I'm depressed. I just came out the hospital for attempted suicide. My girlfriend just left me. I'm broke. My car just got sold. I have nothing. I'm like, how am I going to pay $500 rent? So I had like 5 attempts in my life where I'm like, I can't do it. So for me,
You tried to commit suicide 5 times?
5 times. The last one or the fourth one was I was with my ex-girlfriend. I popped a bottle of Tylenol 50 and I chugged half a bottle of vodka.
So I have to ask you, and again, I don't. It's gonna sound funny, but it's not necessarily. You really suck at this first. 5 times, holy shit!
That's when I said God has a plan for me. That's when
Do you
I said
actually think you were trying to commit suicide, or you're trying to scream for help?
both, but I didn't know how to do it, and I was trying to escape the pain because the pain was like nothing is changing in my life. So let me just end it right now. Stop my misery.
So what was, if you don't mind me asking, what were the 5 methods?
First was pills and wine. I was like coming from this job I hated with a passion. I took some pills, wine, and I remember just sitting there like, I don't want to die. So I called 911 on myself. You know, they called the suicide prevention. They came, took me to the hospital. Second time, I remember I was standing atop of a building ledge and I'm like, I'm just going to do it right now. And then a voice said, don't. And I remember that voice was so loud. I turned to do that. And I was like, what was that? Then I remember the third one, it was a blur. That one's still a blur to me. But the fourth and fifth one I remember vividly because I was with my ex-girlfriend who left me. God bless her soul. And I popped a bunch, went to the hospital. My face was swollen. And thank God when I went to the hospital that day, the nurse she just didn't see me. And my ex like, we got to see a nurse. I'm like, no, let's go home because I just don't want to go here. She's like, all right, whatever. We went home. She's like, you're going home. I'm going to my home. I was like, I ain't got money for a taxi. She's like, figure it out. So luckily I had like $20. So I ended up getting home.
This is after you just committed suicide.
Tried, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. So I get home, my heart's racing. I'm just like, am I going to die on this bed? I was like, you know what? At this point, I'm so miserable in my life. I have nothing to live for. I'm like, whatever. I slept. I woke up. Life is good. Okay, whatever. I'm trying to think positively. Nothing's changing. A week later, I was going through some stuff. I wasn't happy. And I think something happened in business where I was almost getting evicted. And then my ex just saw me. I lost it on myself, not on her, of course. I left the house. She called the police on me. And when the cops came, first thing they asked her was, did he touch you? She's like, no, he didn't touch me. It's him I'm worried about. But they didn't arrest me. They're like, okay, go in ambulance. Took me to the hospital. And at the hospital, I remember the psychologist came and she's like, you've been here before, right? The first time she saw my file, I'm like, yeah. She looks at me and she goes, I don't think you're depressed. I think you're just going through a challenging time in life and you think you're depressed. And I'll make you a deal. If you come back here, I'm going to send you to the big house where the real people try to commit suicide are. And she's like, but just when you go back home, do you read books? I'm like, I can't read. I was bullied all my life growing up. She's like, try reading. I was like, well, I can't even afford a book. Long story short, I went home that day and I was sitting on my bed and I said, what does it take to make life work? And then a voiceless voice said, the power of positive thinking. And I couldn't afford the book, went on my computer, downloaded the book. I started reading that book. I got on antidepressants. I stopped taking them. And that's how my life pretty much started to change at that point. And that was 7-8 years ago.
Have you ever seen a psychologist?
Yeah, I saw one. Yeah, I saw one for a good 5-6 months. And at the end, when we were done, I'll never forget it. She gave me the biggest compliment ever because I was like, when you go to school and the teacher teaches you, but you do more when you go behind the scenes. But I was so much like, no, I got to change. I got to figure it out. So I went back home. I started reading books. Like I'm talking like I was in Indigo and St. Catherine. Mm-hmm. I was there every day. I couldn't afford the books. So
you would read them on the spot?
On the spot. And for some weird reason, I'm a kid who was bullied. I don't know how I had good retention. I was just retaining. I'd write notes, go home. Okay, Tony Robbins said, if you're in a bad mood, change your state. So sometimes I'll just jog around the block, do things I read in books.
So you reformatted your brain?
Yeah, so I was just reading stuff and I'll try it out. It wasn't like I'll read and try. And after about 3 months, she looks at me, she's like, the medication is really working. And I was like, no, actually, I threw it away 2 months ago. And then we spoke for about 2-3 months afterwards. I was good. She did a follow-up on me like a year later. I never had an episode. I had down moments in life. Mm-hmm. But she's like, when you feel sad, do you want to kill yourself? I'm like, no, I don't even think that way. I just have embraced that challenges are happening in my life and I just have to overcome them. And that's how the mindset shift started happening.
So what do you do when you're down? No.
Meditate.
You meditate?
Yeah, but every time I'm down, I go do a meditation for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I do Dr. Joe Dispenza. It's called a brain coherence. And it works 100% of the time. There's never been a time I've done that meditation and came out feeling bad.
So what is it exactly?
Look him up, Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's big now. People have cured themselves of cancer, dementia, Alzheimer's.
Cancer?
Go look it up. Over 5,000 cases. Harvard has covered it. Yale's covered it. Princeton's covered it.
Well, why isn't this in every hospital?
That's what we say. But he's big now. It's pretty much the power of the mind. And it's not like he's teaching them anything crazy. It's just sit down, open your heart, and open your brain. That's it. Brain and heart coherence.
So it's guided meditation.
Yeah, guided, but he has different ones that you can do, right? And whenever I'm down, I just do his meditation. So when you're stressed out, you focus on what's stressing you out, right? So if it's, I don't know, girlfriend, money, business, so focused. When you do a brain coherence, you close your eyes and it guides you and you just have to sense the space around you. Now, that one works every time. And everybody who's done it properly, it always works.
It's the properly, the most important part.
Yeah, properly.
I'm not good at meditation.
Oh, bro, it's so
Too
easy.
many voices.
It's so easy when I know a billionaires who've done his work, and they're billionaires. They have so much stuff who've done his work who say this was the best thing we ever did.
No, that I agree. Again, I'm pretty much sure I would be able to eventually, but I have too many
thoughts. That's meditation right there. That's literally what he said. First time I was watching him, it's like people when they meditate, they have too many thoughts, but that's what meditation is actually. Because our brains are moving so fast. He says, we struggle to find the present moment. So he says, sometimes in one meditation, 100 times I've had to catch myself thinking about this and this, present moment, this and this, present moment. And I've done that 200 times. But every time I've done it, when I'm done, I feel this sense of, wow, like almost like a reset button. And it's like 10 minutes short. I do it every time I'm at home, I'm getting stressed out.
That's right. I'll give it a try.
Just look him up, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I can't say enough. Anybody who knows me, people send me clips of Dr. Joe. Like, is that your dad? I'm like, no, I just love his work. It helped me a lot.
You have an interesting journey.
Yeah.
I'm actually, you have to be proud of yourself where you're at now. It's always interesting when you meet people on these pods.
Yeah.
You see the person in front of you.
Yeah.
You never know where they've been, right? And I would have never thought that because you're always smiling on your videos. You seem very positive.
Yeah.
And, kudos to you, man. Continue the good job.
Thank you, bro.
And honestly, yeah, you probably do have a purpose. What do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
5 times and still, still kicking.
Yeah, still here. Like, I don't know, whatever purpose God had for me, it's there. And now that's why some people come to me. They've seen that story. It's on my Instagram, like pinned at the top. And some people have come back, you really try it 5 times? I'm like, yeah, 5 times. Clearly, I'm like, God said no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, the best is yet to come, I guess, in your case.
Every morning I wake up, I love life. I have tough moments, but going there, it would take, like, I think it's almost impossible even. I've had moments where I'm like, I quit my business. Life is just kicking my ass. My mom's not here. My dad's not here. I have no family. But I always figure it out every single time.
That's the motivation, I guess, and that's the positivity. And again, wow, interesting. I'll actually get you back. I'll actually match you with another guy, but we'll
Okay.
talk off camera on that.
Okay.
Thanks again for coming.
All right, no problem, bro.
This was honestly a pleasure, eye-opening,
For sure, bro.
and hopefully to hear from you soon.
Not for sure, man.
And on that note.
All right.